Have you ever wondered why, in the early stages of a relationship, a woman seems so invested, texting first, making time for you, trying to understand every piece of you? But slowly, that energy fades, and suddenly you find yourself chasing what once chased you. What if I told you she still needs you more than you need her, but you just forgot how power actually works in relationships? See, power in love isn't about control. It's about emotional leverage, and the truth is, men lose it the moment they forget their purpose. Today we're going to uncover the uncomfortable truth about attraction, control, and the invisible balance that determines who truly holds power. Because the reality is simple: when you need her validation more than she needs your presence, you lose. But when you stand firm in your masculine energy, detached yet compassionate, calm yet certain, she'll orbit around your world, whether she admits it or not. 1. The hidden power dynamic. Every relationship begins as a beautiful balance, masculine energy meeting feminine curiosity. In those early days, she's drawn to your calm, your silence, your confidence. You're not chasing, you're simply being. She feels your strength without you needing to prove it. That's what creates magnetic attraction, presence without pressure. But something changes over time. Most men, once they start to care deeply, begin to shift their focus. They move from living their mission to maintaining her approval. You start wondering, did I text too late? Did I upset her? Is she losing interest? Slowly, your masculine frame starts to crumble under the weight of overthinking. That's where power quietly flips. Because in relationships, power doesn't change hands through arguments or fights. It shifts through emotional dependency. The one who fears loss holds less power. The one who can walk away with peace holds all of it. There was a guy named Daniel in London. Strong, ambitious, confident. But when he fell for a woman who made him feel alive, he started to lose himself. Late night calls, constant reassurance, small anxieties. Eventually she said, "You're not the same man I met." And she was right. She fell in love with the man who didn't need her validation, but stayed with the one who begged for it. And that changed everything. Stoicism teaches us, the more you crave what's beyond your control, the more you suffer. When you crave her constant attention, you hand over your peace, and once your peace is gone, she no longer feels your strength, she feels your need. That's the secret most men miss. Women are not drawn to neediness. They're drawn to self-possession. When you stop begging for love, you become love. When you stop chasing her approval, you become the man she respects again. Power in relationships isn't about dominance. It's about emotional independence. The moment you realize you don't need her to feel whole, the polarity returns. Because deep down, every woman desires a man who can walk beside her, not beneath her. 2. Why she actually needs you more. Society loves to paint the picture that she's the prize and you're the pursuer, that you should be grateful to have her attention. But here's the uncomfortable truth: she needs you more than you need her. Not in a material or egotistical sense, but emotionally and spiritually. The feminine energy thrives when it's guided, not controlled. When it feels safe, not restricted. Women feel deeply, they live in emotion, intuition, and movement. But without masculine grounding, those emotions can feel chaotic, unpredictable, and even painful. That's where your energy matters. When a man stands firm in his peace, calm, composed, and purpose-driven, he becomes her emotional anchor. You're not there to fix her. You're there to steady her. That's the silent need she can't always express. In New York, I once heard a woman named Olivia say, "I didn't miss his messages. I missed the peace I felt when I was around him." That's the essence of masculine energy. You don't chase her emotions. You balance them. And that balance is something she can't find in herself, no matter how independent she claims to be. When you detach, focus on your mission, and live in alignment with your purpose, she feels that. She may test you, challenge you, even pull away just to see if your center holds. Because deep down, she's drawn to men who remain unmoved by chaos. After breakups, most women don't miss your face. They miss the way they felt in your presence. The safety, the stability, the peace. That's why she checks your profile, texts you months later, or brings your name up to friends. She's not always missing you as a person, she's missing the emotional sanctuary you represented. Remember this: her beauty attracts you, but your stability captivates her. Your peace is her comfort. Your direction is her grounding. She might not admit it, but she needs your calm far more than you need her attention. That's why the man who stands still in silence, not arrogance, becomes unforgettable. 3. The moment you lose power. Power in relationships isn't lost overnight, it erodes slowly, moment by moment. It happens the first time you silence your truth to avoid conflict, the first time you explain yourself just to be understood, the first time you apologize not because you were wrong, but because you feared losing her. That's how emotional dependence is born. At first, she's drawn to your calm confidence the way you seem untouchable by chaos. But over time, when she senses that her approval defines your peace, she loses respect. Not because she wants to, but because nature demands polarity. I remember a story of James from Los Angeles, a strong, confident man who built his business from scratch. But when he fell in love, that focus scattered. He began checking his phone every 5 minutes, waiting for her reply. His days revolved around her mood. Eventually, she said, "You've changed. You're not the same guy I fell for." She wasn't. Wrong. That's the irony, and the more you chase validation, the more unattractive you become. You stop leading and start following. You stop living and start seeking permission to exist in her world. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." Power returns when you stop trying to be liked and start being grounded. You reclaim control the moment you stop proving your worth and start embodying it. Women test men not to destroy them, but to feel their strength. When she sees that you can stay centered, when you can say, "I love you, but I won't lose myself for you," here, something shifts. She feels safe again, because feminine energy only trusts what it can't control. So the moment you stop overreacting, stop explaining, stop proving, that's when she starts seeing you again. You don't lose power because she's special. You lose it because you forget your value. And when you remember that, you no longer chase, you attract. The Stoic law of detachment expanded. Detachment is not about not caring. It's about caring from strength, not fear. Most men misunderstand it. They think detachment means coldness, indifference, or emotional walls. But true detachment is calm confidence. It's the art of saying, "I love you, but my peace is mine." The Stoics taught that the root of suffering is attachment to what we can't control. When your happiness depends on her love, her replies, or her validation, you give her the keys to your emotional stability. But when your happiness is built on your own foundation, your mission, your discipline, your peace, you can love freely without fear. Imagine you're in Toronto. You're dating Sarah, smart, magnetic, everything you thought you wanted, but lately she's been distant. The old version of you would panic, replay every text, ask, "What's wrong?" 100 times. But now you breathe. You remind yourself, "I control my response," not her behavior. You continue your day, gym, business, your goals. You don't punish her with silence. You simply stay centered. A few days later, her energy shifts. She starts reaching out again. Why? Because women are drawn to mystery, and mystery is born from detachment. When she feels that your emotions aren't dictated by her actions, she respects you. It reminds her that your love is a choice, not a dependency. That's what Marcus Aurelius meant when he said, "He who lives in harmony with himself lives in harmony with the universe." When you master yourself, you master the dynamic. Detachment doesn't mean walking away from love. It means walking away from fear. When you can stay calm when she pulls back, when you can smile when things get uncertain, that's when true power appears. Because you're no longer reacting to her world, you're anchored in your own. And ironically, that's the moment she comes closer. Because deep down, every woman craves a man who isn't afraid to lose her. 5. The psychology of feminine testing. If you've ever wondered why women test you emotionally, the answer lies in their psychology, not their cruelty. A woman tests not to break you, but to see if you can be trusted with her vulnerability. Every time she throws a small emotional storm your way, she's unconsciously asking, "Can you handle me when I'm not at my best?" It's not manipulation, it's instinct. You see, feminine energy is fluid, it's emotion, chaos, movement. Masculine energy is structure, discipline, calm. When she tests you, she's not trying to dominate. She's checking if your structure can hold her storm. In Manchester, there was a man named Adam who couldn't understand his girlfriend. She'd accuse him of not caring, then complain he was too distant. Every fight left him drained. He'd beg, apologize, explain endlessly, and yet nothing worked. Until one day he tried something new. She said, "You don't care about me anymore." And instead of reacting, he calmly replied, "I care enough not to argue with you right now." Then he walked away with peace. She followed him minutes later, crying, hugging, apologizing. Why? Because she finally felt his strength. That's how feminine energy works. It doesn't want dominance. It wants direction. It wants to feel safe in the presence of a man who doesn't crumble when things get emotional. When you react, yell, chase, explain, you fail the test. When you stay calm, centered, kind but firm, you pass it. She feels safe to relax back into her femininity. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." That's the Stoic foundation for handling feminine tests. She's not your enemy, she's your mirror. Her emotions reflect your level of inner peace. So the next time she withdraws, becomes cold, or tries to provoke you, breathe. Don't match her chaos, ground it. Don't chase her moods. Let her find your stillness. Because once she realizes her storms can't shake your foundation, she'll stop testing you and start trusting you. 6. Why power isn't domination. Power doesn't mean controlled, it means calm authority. Yet in today's world, many men confuse dominance with strength. They think leading a woman means telling her what to do, demanding obedience, or being emotionally unavailable. But that's not masculine energy. That's insecurity wearing armor. Real power is subtle. It's felt, not forced. It's in your tone, your patience, your ability to listen without losing direction. A powerful man doesn't shout, he simply doesn't need to. Think of the ocean. The waves, unwild, untamed, emotional, represent the feminine. The shore, steady, grounded, unshaken, represents the masculine. The waves crash, roar, retreat, and return. But the shore remains. That's power. In Sydney, there was a man named Michael, married for over a decade. His wife once told him, "When I'm angry, I know you'll stay calm. That's why I can always come back to you." That's the ultimate compliment a man can receive, like not "you're handsome" or "you're rich," but "you make me feel safe." You see, masculine power doesn't demand respect. It earns it through emotional steadiness. Domination creates fear, but stability creates devotion. A woman doesn't follow a man because he controls her. She follows him because his energy makes her feel free. Seneca wrote, "He who is brave is free." And that's the truth. When you're brave enough to remain calm through chaos, free enough to love without fear, and grounded enough to lead without ego, she naturally surrenders to that energy. So if you ever think you need to dominate her to regain power, you've already lost it. Because the real power is quiet confidence, the strength to guide without commanding, to love without needing, to lead without fear, be the ocean shore and still deep and unmoved. Because when she realizes your peace can't be shaken, she'll never want to leave your side. 7. When she feels your absence, there comes a time when silence speaks louder than words, and absence becomes your greatest form of presence. When you finally stop chasing, when your energy pulls back, she begins to feel something she's never truly felt before, the emptiness your presence once filled. At first, she won't admit it. She'll act strong, post pictures online, hang out with friends, and convince herself she's moved on. But deep down, her subconscious starts to whisper, "Why does it feel quieter now?" It's not just your messages she misses. It's the emotional balance you brought into her life. In Chicago, a man named Ryan once told me, "I walked away when I realized I was fighting alone." He didn't block her. He didn't beg. He simply stopped trying. Weeks later, she came back. Not because he manipulated her, but because his silence reminded her of his strength. Women can replace your face, but they can't replace your energy. That's the paradox of masculine presence. You become most powerful not when you're trying to be remembered, but when you stop trying at all. Because true masculine energy lingers, it echoes. It's in the way she breathes when she thinks of you. It's in the stillness she feels when no one else can calm her storm. Silence is a mirror. It forces her to see the reality she ignored when she thought you'd always be there. She starts to replay memories, rethink her choices, and question why she felt safe with you in ways she doesn't with others. That's when she realizes peace isn't found in noise or attention. It's found in your energy. And here's the truth, she doesn't come back because you texted. She comes back because you stopped. Because your withdrawal reactivates her attraction. It reminds her that your love was a privilege, not a guarantee. So never fear walking away when peace is no longer mutual. Because when you walk away in silence, without anger, without ego, just strength, you leave behind something she'll never forget. A man who valued his peace more than her approval. 8. Reclaiming your masculine frame. Every man who loses himself in love faces a moment of truth. Stay broken or rebuild. Your masculine frame isn't arrogance. It's your foundation, now your purpose, discipline, and peace. When you lose it, she feels it. The hesitation, the doubt, the emotional chaos. That's when attraction fades. But when you realign with your goals, everything shifts. Wake up early. Train your body. Build something meaningful. Chase mastery, not attention. As one man said, when I stopped chasing her and started chasing progress, she began chasing me. That's the secret. Women are drawn to men who are grounded, not desperate. Marcus Aurelius said, be a good man, not talk about it, be it. Because when you live with purpose, you don't chase love. You attract it effortlessly. Conclusion. In the end, every Stoic truth leads to this. Love deeply, but never lose yourself. Real strength is staying centered when everything around you shifts. Love turns toxic when it's built on control, but becomes powerful when it's rooted in peace. She never held the power. Your attachment did. The moment you stop clinging, you regain it. As Epictetus said, freedom is won by disregarding what lies beyond our control. That's emotional mastery, creating closure within yourself, not begging for it from others. One man told me, I thought I lost her, but I found me. That's Stoic masculinity. Heartbreak doesn't destroy strong men, it awakens them. So protect your peace, guard your purpose, and let love revolve around your calm and not consume it. Because true power isn't making her stay, it's being at peace whether she does or not. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.